Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's beautiful 25th of July, 2023. Coming up the Tuesday rant of the Crusty Camp podcast. Yes, cabinet shuffle. More booze for our PM Trudeau and Barbie and the global heat wave. I tell you, a lot of people are panicking. Please stand by. Listener discretion is advised because I like to swear and smoke cigarettes. And like I said, cabinet shuffle's on its way. So prepare yourself. Some scary times coming up, folks. Anyhow, stick around.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Cabinet shuffle, more booze for PM Trudeau and Barbie, the movie, and of course, a global heat wave. Welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Crusty Canuck, on this beautiful Tuesday, 25th of July. Hope you all had a decent weekend. I know I did. I was working. Anyhow, like the headline says, cabinet shuffle is looming. It's going to happen tomorrow. So sometime we'll get the good news about who's going to be looking after this position or that position. You know, all I can say is this. Just be more BS coming down the tracks to ram more of the woke liberal crap into our faces, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, this is Tuesday Rant. If you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe. Share this podcast all over your social media platforms. Help us Canucks, right? Get our word out there to other Canadians and other viewers around the world too, if you like. Anyhow, like I said, this is episode 218 of the Tuesday Rant by the Crusty Camp podcast. So, cabinet shuffle is coming. Now, I got an article here I'll read along with you from Mr. Brian Lilley from the Toronto Sun. I'll try to keep up if you can. I know it was pretty dry. He put a video out the other day about the whole booze in Belleville thing, but I'll get to that later in the show here. But I'll just set this up for you so we can all have a good little understanding of the whole situation coming with the cabinet shuffle. Now, I remember cabinet shuffles from before in regards to the Chrétien government back in the late 90s, 2000s. Anyhow, but it just didn't seem really legitimate because it's obvious you can tell the Liberals are in trouble. You can tell that they're not really doing so well. And they're going to try to, make do with what they can to make everything just, special for us all. We know it's a joke. Anyway, here's the article. Brian Lilley from Toronto Sun. Trudeau drops ministers and droves ahead of cabinet shuffle. Trudeau government going for a major refresh by dropping old faces, bringing in the new. That's right. So Trudeau Liberals were throwing bodies overboard ahead of the cabinet shuffle faster than many people could count. It started with Carolyn Bennett announcing she wouldn't run, quickly followed by Omar Allegbra, Helen Jezik, and Joyce Murray. So added the leaks about Marco Mendocino, David Lemeni, and Mona Fortier all being dropped from cabinet. We've got 7 of 39 leaving before the shuffle has even begun. After almost 11 years as member of parliament, 2.5 years as minister, and 6 elections, I've made the difficult decision not to run the next election, Allegbra said in a video posted to his social media account. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to hear what you see, I'll put this link into the description. You guys can read it at your own time, your own leisure, whatever. So, Trudeau has asked cabinet ministers to commit to running in the next election ahead of the shuffle. Some decided to jump before getting pushed. That election could, in theory, come anytime given the minority parliament, but could still be 2 years off thanks to the coalition agreement with the NDP. Of course, Mr. Yagmeet Singh wants to keep his job and tote his virtue as he's shaking his hand at people who, don't live up to his expectations while he wears a Rolex and custom-made suits. Anyway, I digress. That means current cabinet ministers were being asked to commit themselves for another 6 years in office, a commitment some weren't willing to make, with Bennett and Jaksic being 72 years old and Murray 69 years old. Stepping down shouldn't come as a shock, and we may still see more ministers in this age category like Bill Blair, 69, and Lawrence McCauley, 76, make the same calculation where the shuffle takes place. Now, those individuals that I mentioned, incompetent. All the way. Incompetent. Okay? I have no respect for those individuals because they do nothing but toe the party line. Right? So that's the thing. Blair was spotted Tuesday heading to the Prime Minister's residence on the grounds of Rideau Hall, whereas Anita Anand, currently at defense, and Sean Fraser, currently at immigration. While some have touted Anand to take over public safety. Holy shit. Really? Now, from the soon-to-be departed Marco Mendocino, CBC has reported she will take on an economic portfolio such as Treasury Board, an appointment that can only be described as a demotion. Well, the way the guys spend money, yeah, you're damn right, it's a demotion. Jesus. Perhaps Anand is being punished for not curtailing her leadership ambitions and continuing to organize as a replacement for Justin Trudeau when he leaves office. Oh, interesting. There's a hint, ladies and gentlemen. Trudeau has shown that despite his feminist claims, he doesn't actually like strong women around him. I personally think he doesn't like women with their own opinion. It's got nothing to do with strength or duty. I don't think he really respects a lot of women and values their judgment, kind of like his old man used to. Right. Meanwhile, Blair, who really should retire, has been touted as Anand's replacement at defense. He couldn't read memos on China threatening a Canadian MP and their family, so let's put him in charge of the military. That's a good saying there, Mr. Lilly. Reports have Pablo Rodriguez moving from Heritage, where he botched the C-18 Online News Act rollout, to transportation, a much more complex file. Pascal St. Ange, who took on Hockey Canada and Sport, is touted as his replacement. Okay. So you're going to put a professional athlete in charge of Heritage, and you're going to put Pablo Rodriguez, an Argentine Canadian who actually has some affection for Che Guevara. He wants to go into transportation. So if Omar can't get transportation sorted out, how the hell can Pablo do it when he wants to censor Canadians? Oh, I see. Well, you don't like what we say online, so you're not going to take this flight out of here. One name floated to replace Mendocino at public safety is Trudeau confidant and former fixer, Dominic LeBlanc. Okay, well, this guy, I don't know. They're all just shady. This shuffle has potential to be bigger than most, well beyond simply replacing the 7 who will be retiring or reportedly booted from cabinet. Now, it's not a given that all 7 would be replaced, though cabinet is more likely to stay the same size or even grown than it is shrink. I can't speak English today. Trudeau started out with 30 ministers in 2015 and now has 38 ministers, a sign that governments grow as they age. Yeah, 8 new cabinet positions since 2015. What does that tell you? Do they have your interest at heart? No, they have to have a job and feel special. Of course. In addition to considering regional balances, Trudeau is likely to adhere to his self-imposed rule of having cabinet made up of an equal number of women and men. He may be regretting his once lofty pledge, given many of the ministers causing his headaches right now are many of those poised for promotion are women. But unless he breaks his pledge, he can't have more women in his cabinet than men. Except Anna Gainey from Montreal to be appointed to cabinet. The rookie MP is a longtime liberal activist, and personal friend of the PM. Oh, coincidental. Oh, interesting. Who even accompanied Trudeau along with her family on the infamous trip to Aga Khan's private island. Ooh, slap and tickle for your pickle. Ben Carr is another rookie expected to be appointed to cabinet. Carr recently won the Winnipeg by-election, called to replace his late father and Trudeau cabinet minister Jim Carr. Another quinky dink. Well, I want to take over my daddy's spot because the prime minister can, so why can't I? Oh my God. Yeah. If Trudeau is filling all existing positions, he will need another 3 women and 2 men to meet his criteria. Merit will only come into consideration after all other criteria have been met, and the biggest criteria is you don't show up the boss. See, that's the thing. Us other Canadians, we believe in meritocracy. You earn a position. Okay, if you're elected, that's fine, but you have to earn a position. You shouldn't be just handed a job because you are, or you're not, or you aren't, whatever. So I'll leave this link in the description, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, it's self-explanatory, right? So the shuffle's coming, so there's a panic. So is there a possible election in the works? Is there a possible election? It could happen. My good friends at Northern Perspective don't want another election. And personally, I don't want another election too. It's cost effective, it's timely, it's stressful, and it's a pain in the ass. But I will say this out there, ladies and gentlemen, to my viewers out there and believers in democracy and liberty and standing up for your troops, standing up for the people in your lives, and people that want to keep their money and thrive again in this country. Think about it. An election just might be a benefit. This might be a diamond in the rough.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Tuesday Rant, Crusty Canuck Podcast, episode 218, Cabinet Shuffle, more booze for PM Trudeau, and the Barbie movie, and the global heat wave. Welcome back, is all. I am Crusty Canuck, owner and operator and host of this lovely podcast. I want to say thank you out there to all the individuals that have sent me some kind emails the past couple of days. I got a few of them. Just thumbs up, good job, when's your next show, blah, 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 blah. But hey, thanks nonetheless. And out of respect for their privacy, which they did ask me prior to me reading their emails, kept in the low ground. So tells you there's people out there that want to support my show, but they don't want to advertise their name or whatever. That's fine. I get it. But thank you all the same. You guys are awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause there. You guys are cool. And I want to thank my viewers from my last episode too for the kind comments and words. I'm getting a build up here, so please click like, subscribe, share this stuff all over your social media platform, and we'll carry on with the rest of the Tuesday Rant. That's right. More booze from PM Trudeau and Barbie and the global heat wave. So the Prime Minister was in Belleville recently. And I'm not going to put a video up there. We've all seen the footage. CTV, CBC, Global, other independent outlets have put up there too. And there's just a rebuttal I want to say to Mr. Brian Lidley. Now, I'll leave an article or a video in my description where he talks about how this might win Trudeau's favor. Okay. But I'd like to remind everybody too, and if anyone in Parliament, which I highly doubt is watching this or listening to this podcast, pay attention carefully, okay? Canadians aren't feeling very well. Canadians don't believe the whole budget would balance itself. And Canadians don't believe in sunny ways. And Canadians are getting really, really sick and tired of the BS coming from Ottawa in the name of virtue and wokeness and political correctness. So to summarize, they're pissed. How else do I say it? Canadians are mad. Now, regardless of how unprofessional some of those individuals may be at said rally in Belleville, they have every right to speak their mind. Okay? If grown men and women can walk up and down every major city during the month of June for Pride celebrations, being bare naked, showing off their genitalia, and some of those pictures you're seeing grown-ass men walking around with, you know what, semi-chubs, advertising their freedom of expression, then so can every other Canadian in this country, regardless of how you feel about certain agendas or mandates or what party you're in. Okay? So, Mr. Lilly, you should know better. Now, I really don't think that this individual or those individuals are going to help Justin Trudeau in any matter, because a lot of Canucks are getting pissed. Okay? They're getting pissed. And those individuals out there that think bad words are violent, oh my goodness, how dare you, right? Then you're missing the point. Okay? Now, if I was there observing, yeah, I'd probably say a few comments to him. Say, hey, putz. Hey, schmuck. How's it going, sock boy? How are your friends, WEF? You still pining for a UN seat? You still pining for your Klausy Schwab? You know, you like the bugs, you know, and you like it. That's all. You have all, hey? You will ask the questions here, right, Klausy? And my little boy, little puppet Trudeau there, he'll do everything for me. You have all, right? So when it comes to people speaking out against the so-called violence in Belleville, there is no bloody violence. There's anger. And if you cannot see that anger, then I think you have a problem. If you cannot see that rage and that letdown and that disappointment, okay, there's a lot of Canadians out there working 45 plus a week. That's 45 hours or more a week, trying to make sure the mortgage is paid, trying to make sure there's food in the fridge. And there's more and more Canadian families, especially younger families out there, that are having a real struggle at it. both parents work too. And it's getting harder. Oh, but it's not the federal government's fault. It's the provincial. Oh, it's not the provincial government's fault. It's this guy's fault. It's this girl's fault. No, it's the federal government putting a kibosh to markets in this country, which have created a lot of inflation based on the mandates from the pandemic, other mandates from inside the party, and this virtue teetotaling crap that every one of those clowns has promoted for what's going on in Europe. And we all know what we're talking about here. Okay? And then printing money. Give, spend. Oh, but we have nothing for our social programs. Well, let's create some more social programs in the name of virtue. And then, promise of a kiss and reach around and hope for the best. I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? If you like to hear what you see, please click like and subscribe. And please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, give me some comments when you see this podcast on any one of your social media platforms. Interact too, and a special thank you out to more Rumblers. I've got a few more subscribers. Thank you, Rumble, and thank you, Rumblers. Keep it up. Pass the word. So, sorry to go off on a tangent there, but I remember Brian Mulroney getting booed back in 1990, and this was just after the free trade agreement was going through, and just after he pushed the GST down everyone's throat. Now, if those of you who don't remember, the GST came in 1990 at 7 cents on the dollar. Then plus you add your provincial sales tax. At the time I was living in Ontario, so I think our provincial sales tax was 6 cents, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But still, that becomes 13 cents on the dollar for taxes. And the price of booze doubled and the price of cigarettes doubled. So luxuries that people needed, because we were just starting to get out of a recession. And here comes the Mulroney conservatives slamming down that increase in the name of the budget. Okay. Now, the Mulroney conservatives were quite frivolous with spending too. Right. So that spoke for itself. So every time a federal government likes to spend, they'll turn around and tax. And then everything's just hunky-dory. And then they get all concerned and pissed off. Why are you throwing stones at us? Why are you calling us names? Please. If they haven't figured it out 30 years ago, they're not going to figure it out now. So, once again, to Mr. Brian Lilly, you've got every right to speak your mind and present your product. But you got to understand, Canucks are pissed. A lot of us in Western Canada are pissed. We've had enough. We've had enough of the dogma. We've had enough of the ideologues. We had enough of the agendas being thrown down our faces. These parliamentarians forget that the parliament represents the people. We don't represent the parliament. Parliament represents the people. And you as MPs and MLAs alike, you have a responsibility. Start being accountable. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I moved the camera there, but start being accountable for what you do. Start doing your effing jobs. That simple. And based on what I just read to you from the cabinet shuffle, some guys are getting fired. But I'd say if it was all up to me, you'd all be bloody fired.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And welcome back to the Tuesday Rant, ladies and gentlemen. Crusty Canuck Podcast, episode 218. Cabinet Shuffle, more booze for Trudeau, and the Barbie movie, and the global heat wave. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Welcome back. And like I say, if you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe. Share this content all over your social media platform. Help a guy myself, help me out a bit here. Pass the word around, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to do an OnlyFans page. I'm not going to do a spread anytime soon to make some quick cash to show off my hot body. Anyway, make a long story short, I'm not going to bother with any more rhetoric. It's just a matter of time before more and more people are going to see the light. And I hate to say it, but there might be another convoy in the works if things don't change. And with that convoy, of course, you're probably going to have a handful of people in Ottawa clenching their pearls, getting all scared and wonder about the inconveniences. And of course, they're going to call the police and there might be a fight. That's the last thing I want to see. And I'm assuming that you, my wonderful audience out there, that's the last thing you want to see too. But things have got to change in this country. There is nothing wrong with foreign aid as long as you're helping yourselves too. There's nothing wrong with helping the little guy out as long as little guys in your country get a boost too. Okay. The amount of tax dollars the average Canadian is paying, I think the last schematic I saw was something like 46 to 51% based on incomes. Even 46% is way too bloody much. Then you throw in the carbon taxes there too. And the GST. So tax and plus tax and the GST. Yeah, it's not too funny. Especially my wife and I and our neighbors were struggling, trying to get ahead. So we get our bills paid. We get things sorted out. Like I said, I had to borrow money, a couple of weeks back. But we can't get our savings in check. Okay. So we'll sacrifice more time, do some more shifts. My wife went and got a second job. So it's getting tough all over. So when I see these individuals on Facebook and Twitter and other social media platforms bragging about what a great job these people are doing, yeah, that's right. Come on down and have yourself some rebates here. Have yourself a carbon rebate. Have yourself a grocery rebate. We're doing you a favor. No, they're not. They're giving us back money that's already belonged to us. So the people that buy the BS when it comes to grocery rebates and the so-called, climate change rebates, no, it's money that already belongs to us. So they're buttering up a poop sandwich, calling it fucking peanut butter. Do the math. Anyway, carrying on with this episode 218. I'm getting a little too angry here, so I'm just going to carry on with the whole Barbie and global heat wave too. We've all seen the Trudeau thing and the booze and all that too. And I think more will be coming, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to your local mainstream media and independent media outlets for updates. Wait for it. So the Barbie movie. What can I say about it? It's Barbie. It was a toy company. My sister had Barbies. My cousins had Barbies. Whoop-de-doo, and who cares? Really, who cares? It's great that it's starring Margot Robbie. Okay, she's a talented actor. She has so much dynamic range. Ryan Gosling, Canadian lad, he's got some great range too. But from what I've read and what I've seen online in regards to Barbie movie, it's about girl power fighting the patriarchy. Oh, again, where have we seen that before, right? See, all these companies with this woke mandate, they're going broke. Disney is losing money on some of their BS. A lot of the mainstream media television stations are starting to lose money because they're promoting all this woke stuff, right? Now, if you're against the woke, that doesn't mean you're a racist, doesn't mean you're a bigot, doesn't mean you're a misogynist. It means you're tired of being preached at. And when I watch a TV show or watch a movie, I want to escape the day. I want to escape the week. I want to escape, period, when you watch a good TV show. I remember as a kid, I used to watch Miami Vice every Friday night. Fucking loved it. You 12-year-old boy watching Miami Vice, you're sitting there going, yeah, Don Johnson's pretty cool. Yeah, right on. Miami, yeah. Sand, surf, babes. Yeah, cool. And you're getting right into it. What a great way to escape. When was the last time you saw a good cop show like that? Now, you watch reruns of Miami Vice. You got to admit, it's kind of cheesy and hokey. But then again, you look at the style of Michael Mann, the way he puts together anything. It's pretty cool. Right? But when was the last time you saw a show like that? Honestly, when was the last time you saw a show like that? Huh? When was the last time you saw some great comedy? And I'm talking like Second City. I'm talking like Kids in the Hall. I know Kids in the Hall put a show on recently from Amazon, but I wasn't too thoroughly impressed. I'm disappointed, you lads. But when was the last time you saw anything great? So when Hollywood keeps throwing out these movies all the time, okay, yeah, they might make some money, they might lose some money. But I highly recommend, ladies and gentlemen, we should check out movies like Sound of Freedom. And it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, doesn't matter if you're an atheist, doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Jewish, it doesn't matter. It's a story about a guy who's saving kids. Like, talk about a hero story. Really fantastic. So I recommend Sound of Freedom, ladies and gentlemen. Or you can see Barbie if you want to, or Oppenheimer, whatever. But when it comes to all these little limericks and jokes and gimmicks they put together for the sake of, entertaining you, you're really got to start thinking for yourself when it comes to watching a movie or going to see a movie. You want to see it because you want to see it? Or are you going to go see it because the TV said so? Right? I got no desire to see Barbie. I might go see it, when it comes out in Netflix or Amazon or rental or download or whatever. I don't know. Depends on my wife what I want to do, because it's usually myself, my wife, we watch the movies together. Right? But you decide. Who gives a shit about Barbie? Really, it's a toy. Right? So worried about the false images that are presented to women. Yet there are so many women that have advertised Barbie. There's so many women who bought Barbie. Right? You want to talk about false advertisement. When you're a little kid, remember those He-Man dolls? They were built like brick shit houses. Do you not think that's unrealistic expectations for boys and men? Hey, I know. Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back after this.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
We're back to episode 218 of the Tuesday Rant. Crusty podcast, cabinet shuffle, more booze for PM Trudeau and Barbie and the global heat wave. So the global heat wave, yes, we're seeing all these reports about fires here, fires in Greece, fires still in Alberta, fires in BC, fires here, floods happening in Nova Scotia. Oh, the big heat wave. Oh my God, climate change. Maybe it's because we're having a hot summer and we in the Northern Hemisphere are really starting to feel it this time around. Now, I can guarantee too, based on what I've read, okay, Australia, Oceania, everything under the equator, they're going to have their summer come November, December, January. So we'll see the reports then too. But I, for one, I'm just getting sick and tired of the hype and the climate emergency and all these kids that are gluing their hands and their faces to roads or throwing soup on paintings because, oh, we're making a difference. You don't understand about oil and gas. I understand plenty. You go to the hospital, all the tubing, all the machinery is petroleum based because it's made from plastics. Half of the stuff we still buy in the grocery store has plastic wrapping. Okay. This toque I'm wearing is not totally wool. It's got some acrylic. So it's got some plastic in it. This microphone, everything that we use in our day-to-day lives is petroleum based. Stop blaming the human race for your idiocy. Stop blaming humans for the change in the earth. If there were ways we could go back in time and measure what the impact was when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, do you think we could maybe figure it out? Our best guess is to figure that shit out through rock. Huh? But we can't, can we? That'd just be stupid. So let's enjoy what we have here now. Let's work on how we can make our borders better. Let's work on how we can be better people to each other. And let's start working on relations when it comes to countries, cultures, identities, without worrying about woke mandates, the climate emergency. If it was emergency, there'd be plans in place. Would there not be? You would think? Do you think the governments would love us that much to incorporate some more plans? No. In this country, they want to abolish fossil fuels because I think it's going to do the world a favor. Yet in China and India, they still use coal. Okay. Parts of Indonesia, lots of coal. I think the trick is to bring people out of energy poverty and let them have a chance to generate and create their own electricity, create their own energy without being reliant on other nations all the time. Okay. We got to smarten up in this country when it comes to business relations. We do have a business model for LNG. We do have a business model for uranium too when it comes to building nuclear reactors. We should have some more nuclear, get some more refineries built in this country, and sell our product overseas so people can say, hey, Canadians got it right. They got some great fossil fuels, eh? Don't you think so? Germany thought so. Japan thought so. But our beloved sock puppet aficionado, potato boy, said there's no business case for it. Yeah, because they want to annihilate it. Right? So we talk about heat waves and stuff. Maybe we're going to have a record summer. That's happened in our history before. We've had some record hot summers and some record cold winters. And come this winter, where I live here in Alberta, if anyone's going to screw with my ability to heat my home, then we're just going to have to screw with you. That simple. Anyway, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 25th of July, 2023. for my Tuesday rant. Please stay tuned. Every Tuesday, I put the Tuesday rant up. And every other Saturday, I put an episode up of the regular podcast for you all to enjoy and listen to. I highly recommend Northern Perspective. They're decent people. They're a married couple from Ontario. They make some great videos too. Check out Jeremy McKenzie. Check out Independent Media, Greg Wycliffe, Daniel Boardman, Aaron Gunn, Rebel, True North, and wherever else tickles your fancy. And to get your own perspective on things, ladies and gentlemen. Where I work, I have time to listen to podcasts while I'm feeding, while I'm moving this, moving that, and I can listen and work at the same time and get things done, but still be well informed. And that's your responsibility too, ladies and gentlemen. Do your best to be well informed. But like I say, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 25th of July, 2023. I wish nothing but good things for you all out there. And take some extra time to be with your kids, your family, and loved ones. Drink lots of water. It's going to be hot because climate emergency. Anyhow, but just do what you can to help each other in these trying times. And like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care and probably see you this Saturday. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.